Okay, this is the birthday video. Oh my gosh, I am trying to make this a good one. And so, welcome. Hi, hello, how are you? And I'm so great that you guys are back here again. If this is your first time, hi, my name is Crystal Lee. I am a manifestation and mindset coach. My channel is dedicated to self-love, wellness, healing, and manifesting everything you've ever desired. So if that sounds like you and you're on that journey too, subscribe and stay tuned for more. So this is a little different. I turned 32 this year and I was thinking about doing 32 life lessons that I could completely share with everyone. But as I wrote these life lessons down, I started to think and I was like, what if instead of 32 life lessons that I would be reading like a list, I decided why not dive into 5 that I can actually really draw out examples and really go into these life lessons and thoroughly than just reading them off a list. So hopefully you guys get some great takeaways. So with that being said, let's get into it. So the first lesson I want to get into is learning to honor the space between no longer and not yet. I used to have this thing where I would go from one thing to another, and I did not give myself time in between to breathe. This occurred a lot when I was juggling between projects, when I was juggling between work, and anytime there was a moment of stillness, it freaked me out by what should be happening next. What is the next thing? What is the next thing I've got to do? Where's the next place I have to go? My life needs to be fast and booked. Fast and booked. That was my life. It needed to be fast. It needed to be booked. I needed to have things back to back because moments of silence scared me. Moments of silence made me feel weak. And moments of silence really worried me because then I started to wonder if I was going anywhere in my life when really I should have perceived these moments of silence at the time as moments of strength. Moments to simply just enjoy the ride and go along for the ride. Go and go forth and learn things along the way and pick up things along the way and meet new people along the way. Instead of being so ultra consumed in I'm not there yet, let's keep going. And a lot of us, I feel, get stuck in this. I know a lot of my clients get stuck in this and I've been there too. But since really taking care of myself and practicing self-care, I realized that I don't need to fill in these spaces anymore. And these gaps that I perceive to be negative are not negative at all. And that these gaps are just moments of time, chunks of moments of time that are truly not gaps at all. They're not gaps at all. There are moments that can be filled with a lot of love, a lot of joy, and a lot of happiness if I just chose to allow myself to feel that and witness that for myself. And so, like I said, I think it's time that we learn how to honor the time, the space between no longer and not yet. So next one, learn your worth and your value. A lot of us, actually let me take that back. I'm going to speak for myself. I didn't know my own worth and my own value until my late 20s, till about when I was 28 and 29. Then I really learned what it meant to understand my true worth and my true value and what I could bring to the table. And when I say what I brought to the table, I mean personally and career-wise, professionally, I knew what I brought to the table. I was good at what I did and I was good at things I do. But personally, I lacked that value and that worth in myself personally, and I could not see what I could offer and bring to the table. Relationship wise, I could not see what I could bring, and that was really sad. There was so much I could bring, and yet I downplayed myself and my own capabilities, which I have just actually recently learned to stop doing. That I need to be able to acknowledge that I have experience, I have worth, I have value that I can bring to the table. And that's been a major game changer for me. So, quick dating story. A while back, I was hanging out with some friends and bumped into this guy I liked in my early 20s. Although I liked him, I always thought he was very intelligent. I thought he was very handsome, and I always thought that he was out of my league. And I always thought, wow, I see and recognize the girls he's dating, and they are beyond me. At the time, I felt those girls are beyond me. I am never a girl he would ever date. And so that was my mindset in my early 20s. And so I just admired him from far away, right? And so as I'm going through this, I end up recently, like I said, I was with a bunch of friends, and I end up bumping into him and his friends. And it's funny because everything shifted. I actually forgot his name, and I was laughing to myself like, oh crap, I really liked this guy at one point and I completely forgot his name. I must have liked him for like 2-3 years and I forgot his name. And so we were reintroducing, we were saying hi, hello, and I was just like, hey, hey, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you so long. And as we started talking, found out he was single. And so I was like, you know what? Why not shoot my shot? What do I have to lose? And I shot my shot. And I said, hey, what's up? You know, like, I would love to grab drinks with you. You know, we haven't seen each other in a while. Let's catch up. He says, yeah, that's cool. Let me get back to you though about the date. I'm like, okay. And he was like, I'll get back to you about the date tomorrow. And so tomorrow came, and I already had a feeling that was his subtle way of rejecting me, which I think I would have appreciated if he just said, hey, it's not, I know we're grabbing drinks, but if we're under the impression of this is a date, I want you to know that's not a date. And I would have been okay with that too. But he never responded. And then I gave him the next day, and then 2-3 days passed, and to me, no answer is an answer. I've had some friends who are like, hey, you know what? Why don't you reach out to him anyways and just say, hey, confirming if we're still going to meet up? And I said, I don't need a confirmation. His silence is my confirmation that he doesn't want to go out with me, and I'm okay with that. And as I reflected on saying that to my friends, it dawned on me that, oh my gosh, the earlier version of me in my early 20s, if he had not answered me then, I would have been so sad, and I would have been so caught up on what's wrong with me? Am I ugly? Does he not like me? Does he think I'm not attractive? Like, oh, I knew it, I shouldn't have done it, I'm so embarrassed now. But I actually realized that I didn't have an issue with him rejecting me, because I now know my worth, my value, and it was just me asking. And beyond that, and I knew that. I came to this place where I said, like, you know, in my early 20s, I think if I had asked this guy out who I thought was so cute and so intelligent, if I had asked him out then with the low worth and value I had of myself at the time, my own perception of me at the time, oh, it would have been a shit show. I would have been over here crying and still reeling over it and wondering, why didn't he not respond? Why did he ghost me? I feel so miserable. Oh my gosh, it's because I'm ugly. It's because I'm ugly, huh? It's because I'm not smart enough, or I'm not pretty enough, or he's not into a girl like me. When really I realized, like I said, this time around, when he didn't respond, it didn't matter. I knew who I was. I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. I understand and recognize my worth, my values, and no response from him is a response to me, and I'm content with that. And that was actually a growing moment for me, in which I realized, wow, I've grown a lot. I've grown a lot from my younger self, who was very insecure of how others would perceive me, regardless if they were men or not. men who I was attracted to or people I felt the need to please. I struggled with that a lot for a long time. And then, like I said, when that happened and I reflected with my friends, it no longer mattered. And it was no longer about him rejecting me or not. It was actually about the way I was taking it, the way I was handling it. And I was like, damn, I'm pretty okay. I'm okay. I didn't lose any sleep over it. And I think that that was the most rewarding feeling that I could feel. And whether he had actually said yes and we went on that date or not, I realized it was never about him. It was just about me. And that was the most beautiful part. So this next one has been incredible for me. I learned about 2 years ago from a really close friend and mentor, really helping me and mentoring me and guiding me through dark moments in my life in which I needed to seek advice and solace, and she has always provided that for me. And something that I recently learned from her as I went on my healing journey is forgiveness is the highest protection. And I never forgot that. So another life story. I was in a relationship for 10 years. And at that point, it's sunshine and rainbows. You think you're gonna get married, and that was the idea, right? We're on that timeline to get married. We're taking steps towards that. We're striving towards that, and then I find out that he cheated on me, and not only do I find that out, at the same time he denies it until after we break up, and he gaslights me, and I start to spiral. I was in this spiraling place where I found out about the cheating, I was gaslit, and because I didn't have the tools to heal, I took it all in and I ate myself to like 225 pounds. It was terrible. I just ate because I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to handle the struggle. I didn't know how to say, oh my gosh, I need help. And so I held on to a lot of anger, hurt, and resentment through the last few years of that relationship and us getting into, and us supposedly on our way to getting married. And it wasn't until like I made that decision to really truly change my life and say, you know what, I'm deciding for me that I no longer want this relationship, and I'm going to choose me, that I finally was able to break free from that toxic relationship. And when I found my mentor and we processed a lot of that hurt, she said to me, you know, I understand that you're going through a lot. So I'm summarizing what she said, but she goes, you know, I understand you're going through a lot, and also I just want you to remember that forgiveness is the highest protection. And at the time, I'm like, I don't want to forgive anyone. I am scorned. I am a scorned lover. I hate everyone. Everything just needs to burn. I'm gonna flip all the tables, and I hate everyone. But as we processed through it, and I started to really do the inner work and really heal upon myself and in myself, I realized that she was right. Forgiveness is the highest protection. And when I was able to really look into myself and actually do a visualization, I teach this visualization to my clients now. I was able to do a visualization in which I was really able to look at him and say, I forgive you. That it truly freed me. It truly freed me in so many different ways that it no longer mattered what he did, who he is, who he was, what he's doing now, wherever he is in his life, because God knows, I don't know, is that I am free. I've set myself free by forgiving him and knowing that forgiveness is the highest protection. I feel so protected by the universe. I feel so protected by the creator of all that is. And I feel so happy and filled with joy. And the resentment, the hurt, and the anger that I used to hold on to, that used to weigh me down physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, has dispersed and has dissipated. And It's such a wonderful feeling. It's just so wonderful. I never forgot what she said, because now when I go through new tragedies or trauma or shock, I remember her words, and I remember that forgiveness is the highest protection. And in forgiving them, I am truly setting myself free. And that has been a major game changer for me. Goodbyes are necessary. I used to be so afraid to say goodbye to people in my life until I realized that it was necessary for me to grow. These goodbyes could come in a form of an eternal goodbye in which they're moving on to a new life and I know I would never see them again, or they have moved on to the next phase of their life and I know I can't come along. And I also know that they can't come along with me. Goodbyes are so necessary and have been so necessary for me and vital to the growth of me. I recently had to let go of a friend. We shared a lot of great moments together, and after my major breakup from my relationship, this friend came into my life and really helped me process a lot of that before I really found healing with my mentor and the people around me. This person was really that bridge who got me out of that deep dark place, that extremely deep dark place, and was able to help me grow and grow and grow. And I want to say, in a sense, I relied on them a lot for that support, and I was also able to support them through some extremely tough times in their life. However, late last year, I began to realize that things were shifting for the both of us, and we weren't necessarily falling apart, because I don't think that's true. We were just growing in different directions. They were starting a new part of their life, and I was also starting a new part of my life in which I understood they probably could no longer go with me and I could no longer go with them. And I had to really make that tough decision of saying, hey, things are not going the way I thought they would, but I cherish everything we did have together and I appreciate it so much. And we were able to really have that very deep and intense conversation to say, we both recognize this is the end of the road for us, and we have changed in deep parts of ourselves and our lives because of each other, and for that we would be forever grateful. And I remember them also telling me how I've shaped them and they've shaped me, and it's been good. It was really good, and just wanted to share that goodbyes are necessary, because after we closed that door, I made room for new people who can thoroughly and fully support me on this new journey that I'm going on. And it just hasn't been the same, which is great. That's what I'm looking for. It just hasn't been the same, as in things have just gotten better and better. And being able to truly recognize when a relationship of any form, a friendship, family, peers, colleagues, coworkers, careers, and personally, partners, when something is no longer serving you, when a relationship is no longer serving you, you are able to recognize letting it go, you're truly able to say goodbye to old parts of you, and you're truly able to open yourself to experiencing new experiences with new people who can enter your life. You're making room for new people to enter into your life to really be able to take you where you need to go and come along for the next part of your journey. And so I hope that all of you enjoyed this video. I turned 32 this year. I'm so excited, and I hope that this video was helpful as I dived deep into my experiences. I hope story time was fun. Take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.